Um, Good evening. I just wanted to do a quick take. Um, and it'll be just like a few little thoughts, and then I'm out of here and retiring to bed to get my beauty sleep. Okay. I just remember I got certified. I took this class called Pretty with a Purpose. So it was Pretty with a Purpose, but it was for women who were married. And so what this class did, it just taught you about being a woman, who we're called to be, and we also learned about our spiritual gifts. So that's like something that really like sets you apart if you know what your spiritual gifts is, because for a lot of people who they're always like trying to search, they're searching for higher, for how can I go higher, how can I get a closer walk with God. Well, you first have to, yes, you have to accept the calling, accept who you believe in, accept accept Jesus into your heart, and realize that God is the higher power. Okay, and yes, you read your Bible, but to make it through this world, you really need to know what your spiritual gifts are. It's not saying that you don't believe in God, but no matter what religion you are, you need to know what your spiritual gifts are. So this is something that like I was taught by my grandmother and by my big mama, Beatrice Hopkins. And it was something that was pushed like each of her grandkids and her children. She knew what your spiritual gift was because that was part of her gift. And she would help you to develop it. And not just us, she did the entire community of youth that she affected. So when I seen her do that, I thought, oh, that's what you're supposed to do. Like, so once I took the class, and like this was something I just learned early. Like, your spiritual gift is not it's not something you learn, but it's something you are born with. You innately came here, that just as God says, I knew you when you were in your mother's womb. You came to the earth with this gift. Now, what happens with a lot of people, they can get lost in their gift, and people will try to use you for your gift. Like, you have a gift, but if you don't get a hold of what it is and really get an understanding of it and study, really talk to God, really get that relationship with Him to figure out, where am I supposed to be? Should I go here? Should I go there? You have to build that discernment. Discernment will tell you, no, I shouldn't mess with that person. No, I shouldn't get in that car with that person. No, they're not going to be someone that I am strong enough to hang around at this time. Like some people like to say, oh, I can go in the club and I can talk to people in the club and bring them to God. Yeah, you can, but wherever you're hanging around, guess what? You start to become like that. And it doesn't matter how strong you are, whatever you're surrounded by, that's how you become. You become what you hang around. So that's why they tell you, watch your company you keep. So anyway, in this class with Pretty Purpose, I end up being called to teach it to the youth. So I had girls from, I guess, like 12 to 17 in this class. Um, at first, I was like, "What? You want me to teach this class?" But well, I've had a baby, at 14. Like at a time, people will make you feel like, "Oh, you had a baby at 14, so you're not equipped." But you are very well equipped because of what you went through. So you went through that for a certain reason. God has us go through things for a certain reason. So yes, I might have had a baby at 14, but from me going through that, I can tell another young lady coming up, hey, watch out for this. Don't fall for that. Don't believe those lies. And you can put it into a class. So in Purity and Purpose, we read this book, and it basically helps girls to walk into their confidence. But also what I added in this class, there are some smart me. There are some quizzes that you can take, and you can find out what your spiritual gifts are. You find out what your spiritual spiritual gifts are, and you read up on them, you study, you read the Bible, and or your Quran or whatever you do, and then you can figure out what you're called to do. It helps you. Like people always say, "Oh, I'm looking for my calling." Well, you can find that in once you find your spiritual gifts. But you also, in everything that you do, you need a mentor. For me, my grandmother was my mentor. And then when my grandmother wasn't able to be my mentor anymore, God would put me with another mentor. Usually your mentor is going to mirror your gift. And it does not matter how old that person is. It is about their heart, the experience. And what you don't want to do is a lot of people will try to use your gifts, and you have to have discernment for that. You know, like they'll say, "Oh, you're not ready for this," or they may be jealous, but and you'll never know that until God reveals it to you. So that's in your prayer. You have to pray for God to reveal those who would be against you. God, open my eyes so that I can see. Open my eyes in your strength, not what I see, because my heart may want to help this person, but helping this person, they may hurt me or hinder me from where you need me to go or slow me down. They're not going to stop you, but sometimes some people that you're not even supposed to be hooked up with can slow you down. You cannot, and I learned this in social work, help everybody. You can give them a resource and you can let them go on. But what you're doing when when you run to their aid every time, you are hindering them from whatever lesson God is taking them through. So at that time, either you teach them and you call that sister out or brother out or whatever, and then you go on. You give them a resource. You're not always supposed to, "Oh, something happened, I had to give you money." No, I wasn't raised like that. My grandmother didn't teach me that. I never expected that my grandmother owed me anything. I never was like, "Oh, my grandmother has land, so she's supposed to leave me land." No. What I thought in my head is, I need to get up off of my butt. I need to get a job. I need to do what I got to do for my generations, just as she did. She gave me the map on how to do it for myself. So I don't have to depend on what she left. I have to do for myself. Meaning I got to get up, I got to work, I got to do what I need to do. That's me and my husband. So you have to plan for yourself. Don't be sitting up waiting on what your family left, what's in the will and all of that. Nobody owes you nothing. Nobody owes you nothing. That includes your parents, grandparents, or great grandparents. You are thankful that the ancestors left you a map on how to do it and how to make it, how to pray. You're thankful that they introduced God to you, so you have something to hold on to other than what this world is leaving. So I'll leave y'all with that, and then I'll end it with this one that I keep in my heart. And yes, I was sick the other day, but God is an ever-present help at all times. Yes, you may hurt sometimes. You're going to have highs, you're going to have lows, but he is always there with you. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the shadow of the valley of death, I will fear no evil, no evil. For thou art with me. He's with me every step of the way. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest the table before the presence of my enemies. Those who would want to hurt me, those who would want to stab me in the back, those who would not want to see me make it to where my calling is. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup will runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Y'all take something in your heart, because you never know when you need it. These are verses that we learned, and they were part of games that we played with my grandmother. You put something in your heart. Put something in your heart. Love you guys. Take care.